Yeah. Yeah, it's time to white knight for Sydney Sweeney, guys. Gear up, okay? A Hollywood producer named Carol Baum recently said that Sydney Sweeney is ugly and talentless. Publicly, she said this, and she had no idea the amount of backlash that she was about to face for saying this, because Sydney Sweeney at this point, you can't hate her. She has an army of simps that are going to defend her against anyone. But yeah, this woman, Carol Baum, she's been in the industry for decades upon decades, and she feels that she has the street cred to come after the Zoomer queen, Sydney Sweeney. So here's what she said word for word. There's an actress who everybody loves right now, Sydney Sweeney, and I don't get Sydney Sweeney. I was watching on the plane Sydney Sweeney's movie because I wanted to watch it. She means anyone but you. The
I love that
rom-com.
she had to give like an explanation as to why she watched it.
I was watching it because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to know who she is and why everybody is talking about her. I watched this unwatchable movie. Sorry to people who love this movie. This romantic comedy where they hate each other. And explain this girl to me. She's not pretty. She can't act. Why is she so hot? Nobody had an answer, but then the question was asked, well, if you could get your movie made because she was in it, would you do it? I said, that's a really good question. That's a very hard question to answer because we all want to get the movie made, and who walks away from a green light? Nobody I know. Your job is to get the movie made. So I guess ultimately her answer is she'll have to tolerate Sydney Sweeney. Just barely tolerate
also,
her.
reread the part right before that about getting the movie made. Her description of her.
Her description of Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah, of what's wrong with her.
Explain this girl to me. She's not pretty. She can't act. Why is she so hot?
Hollywood is the most subjective industry in the entire world. And everybody's got their own opinion on what beautiful is and what good acting is.
Yeah.
So you don't get to be in the industry where you get to shrug off all criticism as just personal taste and then use that personal taste as a reason why you objectively are right. That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that Sydney Sweeney has been praised a lot for her acting skills. Like, she's not just known for her looks either. I feel like she would have been accused of...
really?
Yeah, like,
her acting
the
skills?
media definitely, like, gasses her up on her acting skills, for sure.
Okay. I mean, when I think of the reasons people like Sydney Sweeney...
You can think of two. I get it.
No,
I've heard the joke a million times.
No, that wasn't where I was going. I was going to say... It's more to do with her personality and the way she seems to interact with both the media and the public.
Yeah, that's...
It's not that. I mean,
That's a great point.
It is that.
Right.
But I hear very little to do with her acting and a lot to do with how she seems to have this revolutionary approach to dealing with her media attention, which is to not be a total bitch.
That's a great point. Like, people don't necessarily like Sydney Sweeney because she has big boobs or because she's hot or because she's great at acting. They like her because they can tell she doesn't hate the audience.
Yes, that's
and she actually values the reception of the projects she's in. When most of the time from all these other celebrities, you're getting just straight venom.
Right.
Like, that's valuable in today's Hollywood.
I mean,
This
like
is
that
what
woman
down
who's-
to earth
who
looks
snapped,
like now.
yeah.
Yeah, like that woman who snapped at the paparazzi.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more common than someone who actually seems like they want to be there.
Yeah, on one hand, you have Hannah Waddingham yelling at a paparazzi for asking her to pose for a picture and getting praised as a feminist icon for it. And on the other hand, you have Sydney Sweeney, who is a down-to-earth, corn-fed, all-American blonde girl who is plausibly... I mean, plausibly, maybe not right-wing, but, you know, plausibly doesn't hate the middle of the country, right? And yeah, she's attractive. That's not for nothing. But there are plenty of other attractive, like very attractive actresses out there right now, too, who are in a similar strata. They're not getting the same attention because their personalities aren't hitting the same.
The saddest part is, like, you'd think that how she's behaving would be the go-to for somebody in her position, right? Bring the public on your side. Use goodwill to your advantage. And
Right.
it just seems almost impossible for the average everyday actress because they're so disconnected from the average person. Look at what's going on with Alan Ritchson now. Like, to be that disconnected from what your fan base is like is actually kind of shocking, but the norm and not the exception.
Also, Rachel Zegler. I feel like she could have been a lot bigger if she came off as even a little bit grateful for the position that she's in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like Rachel Zegler, she's talented, right?
She's cast in the
she's
movie.
talented. She is also attractive.
And she can sing.
She can sing. She has all these things going for her, but what handicaps her as an actress who could gain a cult following is that she is an awful person. Like, she has an awful personality.
She's been cast in Romeo and Juliet now too. Another Romeo and Juliet.
She is
stage
just
play.
an insufferable theater kid who spreads hate for the very stories that she is involved in making. And the audience doesn't like her. So
Right.
you actually do need more than talent and good looks in Hollywood to make it, right? On the next level, to, like, I guess, skip grades, like to
that's a
fast
good way
track
to put
yourself to the A-list.
I would
Rachel
actually-
Zegler's still getting work, and you just said she's in Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
but Sydney
she was
Sweeney
also
is
cast in a new Romeo
propelling
and Juliet stage play.
beyond that.
I think also it speaks to Sydney Sweeney's seems to be more business minded than a lot of actresses are, meaning that she's
Right.
already talking about producing her own films, what it takes to get things through production, to get things made. And one of the ways that she can do that is by endearing herself to the public. Now, a lot of actresses seem to just not even be able, they're like, I want to get stuff made, but if it means I have to actually treat other people like human beings, I'm not willing to go that far.
Yes.
Whereas she's willing to go that far. Does that mean that Sydney Sweeney is sincere? I don't really go to Hollywood for sincere. I care more about what it looks like because
Yeah.
that's,
I mean,
perception is reality.
Is
there.
anyone in Hollywood really sincere?
No.
She's
I
just
don't
playing
really
the long
care.
game.
I don't care if it's
exactly,
an
neither do
act. I think Sydney Sweeney is the Gen Z version of Margot Robbie. These two women, they get it. They like get how to make people like you, and it's because they're good at business, like because they understand business and they understand that public perception is essentially your monetary value as talent. So Margot Robbie is loath to politicize the projects she's in unnecessarily. She wants everyone to like them. She wants everyone to like her. And Sydney Sweeney is doing the same thing.
Yep. I
Seems like Sydney Sweeney is like the successor.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlett Johansson before her, Margot Robbie would be in that category as well. But Margot Robbie seems to be more in the lines of actual producing movies and stuff on her own and staying somewhat out of the hullabaloo around the politics and stuff about it and just making the projects she wants to. Even if I think that Monopoly movie is a horrible idea.
Yeah, like that was a bad idea. I don't think she should have done that. But I'm just saying on the personality front and on the way that she gets framed in the media, like she could easily fall for a lot of leading questions that alienate a lot of people, right?
Yeah. And
They're intent on like getting Sydney Sweeney to say something inflammatory about abortion. She refuses to do it. They want Margot Robbie to say something really toxic about like feminism, and they want Margot Robbie to trash men when Barbie comes out, but she didn't do it.
I've
They're
heard people
smart.
say that's why Jennifer Lawrence isn't as big, because she doesn't know how to interview, and in her interviews, like she will talk crap about the director or
yeah.
about the movie
here's
that
the
she
thing.
was in, or
Sydney Sweeney is like a successor to Jennifer Lawrence in a way, because she's doing this down-to-earth thing that Jennifer Lawrence used to do, where she was like, I like eating cheeseburgers, haha, lol, so random. Back in like 2013, like she used to be that
she
girl.
was that girl, totally.
But Sydney Sweeney is now that girl.
If you really think about it, the media are actually the enemy of these celebrities, right? Every interview you go into is a potential minefield full of bad sound bites and clips that are going to get taken out of context to make you look like the bad guy because bad guy sells copy. At least like when the people who criticize Hollywood do so, it's from the lens that that's what we're doing. But the people who are in the industry are like, oh, hey, sit down, talk with us about this movie. Say whatever you want. Feel free to speak on whatever issue you like. And then it's going to be used against them. And then they wonder why, they get such bad press.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's kind of the media became more underhanded as we shifted from like the 2000s to the 2010s and 2020s, like they became more underhanded with how evil they are.
I mean,
they
I would say
figured
the
out how to put on a
actors-
nice face. Like it used to be that the tabloid culture would be like, Britney Spears gained 5 pounds. Look at this whale. Look at this beached whale. And then they became really
Terrible
nice
photo.
on the surface,
Yeah.
where they're like, yay, Lizzo, body positivity. But they're actually more insidious with the way they get you to tear down yourself. They
Well,
get you to do all the work.
This is the thing, though. The things that they know that these actors want to talk about, they know people hate.
Yes.
The second somebody says, like, tell us about your activism.
Oh, if you ask Jennifer Lawrence about Trump, she's gonna go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, same with Scarlett Johansson. Like, that's,
Yes.
they all hate, they all have TDS, but the thing is they love to talk about their activism and these things. So they just, to be fair, it's not even really the media's fault. The media just gives them the question. The actors are the ones who take the bait and fall for it every time. And then you have Alan Ritchson going on this weird tirade a week before his movie comes out, and Guy Ritchie's over here like, bro, you're like the only American in this movie. Can you leave it be for like a week?
Yeah.
Like, nobody over here is talking about Boris Johnson.
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know what is going on in Alan Richardson's little pea brain right now.
Well, it's just the as evil as the media is, the actors are stupid for falling for it every single time.
Yeah.
They're like, let's
Yes.
talk. They're like, so you got this movie coming out. What do you think about abortion?
The exceptions are rare. That's why we pointed out with Sydney Sweeney. Like, she is, for now, she could change that. She is, for now, an exception to that rule.
It's fantastic, and I would like to see more of it.
She's
movie-
like, she's the anti-Rachel Zegler, essentially.
which means they'll probably do a movie together someday.
Gosh.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.